welcome to K-5 Adventures in 3, 2, 1, where we'll learn 3 fun facts. We will do 2 activities that you can try at home, and we can read 1 book together. Today is all about dinosaurs. I'm Miss Susannah, and I'm glad to be here with you. Let's get started with our first fun fact. We are going to look at this fun fact in the book Weird But True, Dinosaurs. And here it is. Sea turtles, sharks, horseshoe crabs, cockroaches, platypuses, and crocodiles have all been around since the time of the dinosaurs. Who knew? That's a crazy fact. I wonder if the dinosaurs ran away from cockroaches just like I do. All right, let's get crafting. Today I'm going to show you how to make a dinosaur out of a paper plate. But if you don't have a paper plate at home, I have other options as well. So today we're going to make 1 dinosaur, but I do have 3 different options you can make out of the paper plate. So this is our Stegosaurus. So this is one example of the paper plate dinosaur. So that's what he looks like. And then I also made it with printer paper, so just white paper, and I also made one with lined paper, so you know that you can use anything that you have, even junk mail is totally fine. Just use paper that has 1 blank side. So here is our T-Rex made out of just plain white paper. And here is our Brontosaurus made out of lined notebook paper. All right, so the things that you're going to need for this craft are, you need a paper plate for your dinosaur, or I'll show you another option for how to do it without that paper plate. You are going to need scissors, you need something to put it together with, so I've used staples here. You can also use glue sticks, tape, lots of different options, whatever you have in your house. And then you need something to color with. So if you've got crayons, that's fine. If you've got markers, that's also great. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the lined paper and turn it into our circle for our paper plate. We're going to use it as our paper plate. So what I did first is I just colored the paper with a crayon in this case on one side of the paper. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. And you want to use something round for this. So you can ask your parents for a plate from the kitchen. You want to make sure your plate is going to fit onto the paper. So you might have to use a smaller plate like this. If you have something else around like this tin, this is also circular, so it'll work really well. So I'm going to take my plate, I'm going to lay it down on my paper, and you can actually put it in a way so that you don't have any holes from the hole punches, and so that you've got it already. So let me go ahead, and I'm just going to use my crayon, and I'm going to trace around my paper plate. All right. And so now I'm done with my plate, and I have a circle right there on my paper that is now ready to cut out. So I'll go ahead and cut out my circle. Okay, and so now I've got my paper circle that I can use just like a regular paper plate. You'll be able to do this activity either way, even if you don't have the paper plate. So now that we have, if you've got your circle or your paper plate, you're ready to go. Let's go ahead and get started on the actual activity. So you will need to do some drawing on your paper plate or your circle of paper. You're going to make what's called a template on the back. So you want to go to the side that is not colored, okay? So you've got your side that you colored. If you had the paper plate, you would just want to color one side of your paper plate and the other side you leave white. And so we're going to actually, on the back, there are 3 different templates you can use. So we've got a T-Rex, like I showed you, a Brontosaurus, and a Stegosaurus, and they're all just a little bit different. So let me go ahead and show you. This is the way you want your T-Rex body to be. So you are going to, in the circle, you're going to draw a line through the middle. I didn't use a ruler or anything. You're just going to draw a line through the middle. You want it to be a little bit bigger on one side of the circle than the other. This will be your body, and then on that bigger side you will fit in your tail and your head and your arms and your legs. So this is our T-Rex body. Remember, you can pause if you need to look at this so you can draw it on your plate. This is our Brontosaurus body. So we've got our Brontosaurus body, we've got his head, his tail, and his legs ready to go. All right. And then finally, this one is actually done on a paper plate. This is our Stegosaurus body. So we've got our Stegosaurus body. On one side, we've got the yellow. On the other side, we have our tracing. We've got our tail, our plates for the Stegosaurus's back, our legs, and our head. So now that you have seen our 3 different templates, you can make one with me today, and then another day you can come back and make a Brontosaurus, a T-Rex, or a Stegosaurus. So you can make all 3 if you want to, or you can make your favorite one. Today I'm going to go ahead and use our paper plate, and I'm going to make our Stegosaurus. So I've got it all traced and ready here. So the next thing I have to do is I just have to cut these pieces apart. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so I've got my body, that's the simple part, that's ready to go. I'm gonna cut my tail. All right, I'm gonna cut my legs. My legs are actually just a rectangle, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut all the legs out together. And then I can just snip them apart very easily. I need my head. And I need the plates for my Stegosaurus back. And a lot of you might call those spikes. I think I grew up calling them spikes, but what the actual term is they're called plates. So, all right. So I've got my dinosaur plates I'm cutting out. And one last cut. Okay. And then this leftover can go in the trash or the recycling bin, so you don't need this anymore. All right. So now to put my Stegosaurus together, he's going to look like this when he's finished. So I'm going to go ahead, I've got my body, and I'm going to go ahead and attach my tail to him. So what I found was that it is easiest to use either tape or staples for the paper plate because it's heavier. But if you're using just the paper to make this, a glue stick is perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and use my tape. And I'm going to add my Stegosaurus tail to my body. You might need to add a little bit to the front as well, just so it stays on nice and tight. So now we have our Stegosaurus body with the tail attached. And then we're going to go ahead and add his head to his body. So I'm going to put that just about here. And again, I'm going to use a little bit of tape and tape his head on. All right. And then I've got my 4 legs for my Stegosaurus. I'm going to tape each of those legs right onto the bottom of the body. And so now he's starting to look like a dinosaur. So we're going to go ahead and last we're going to add his plate to his back. So let me go ahead. I'm going to just flip this over to do this. It might be a little bit easier that way. And I'm going to add the plates to his back. Okay, so now I've got my Stegosaurus body is together and I just need to add a face. So I'm using a Sharpie permanent marker, but you can use anything that you have that is okay with your parents to use. So if it's crayons, that's fine. If you've got a marker, a pen, that's fine too, as long as that's okay with your parents. So I'm going to go ahead and add a face to my dinosaur. I'm just going to add an eye and a mouth, and you can make it a scary mouth, you can make it a happy mouth, you can make it a silly mouth, whatever you want is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eye. All right, and then I'm just going to do a little zigzag toothy smile on my guy. And if you want to, as you see with my examples, I did go back and add some details with other colors. So you can definitely do that, or you can just keep yours plain like my little yellow Stegosaurus. Okay, all right. So that is how you make a dinosaur with a paper plate or a circular piece of paper. And once again, if you want to make the other dinosaurs, you can just go back and pause on those templates that I showed you earlier, and you can put together your T-Rex, your Brontosaurus, or your Stegosaurus. Now we're going to read a story about a dinosaur. This book is called That's What Dinosaurs Do. It's a really silly story. I think you'll enjoy it. And it's written by Jory John and illustrated by Pete Oswald. That's what dinosaurs do. All right. We've got our pictures here at the beginning. We've got people waiting at the bus stop. And here we see some eyes in the back. Scary eyes. Oh, and who pops out? Roar! 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 He's scaring all the people and animals. William had a really great weekend, but now his throat hurt way too much from roaring. William went to the doctor. No more roaring for a week, the doctor proclaimed, and I mean it. Roar? Said William. Exactly, said the doctor. Don't do that. But how can I not roar? Thought William. That's what dinosaurs do. William was sad, down, distraught, depressed, drained. Roaring was his life. Now what? He did want to get better, though, so William completely stopped his roaring. It was not easy. There were just so many great opportunities to roar. The baseball game, the taco truck. He just couldn't roar, and it made him sad. Oh, he's back on the farm. And he sighs, he's sad that he can't roar. As embarrassing as it was, poor William decided that he must live a life of silence. He sat in his chair and stared at the wall and drank cup after cup of chamomile tea with honey. Not roaring is so boring, thought William. It's no fun when a dinosaur loses his roar, even for a week. On Tuesday, William moped around his garden. On Wednesday, William remained inside his house. On Thursday, William stayed under the covers all day. And on Friday, William could barely stand it. He had to roar again. William went back to the doctor. It looks a little better, William, said the doctor. Still not great, though. Roar? Said William. You may roar, said the doctor, but if you roar too much, your throat will surely hurt again. Outside the doctor's office, William spotted the mailman who smiled and waved. William waved back. Then he felt something bubbling up inside of him. What do you think it is? William knew he shouldn't roar at the nice mailman, but he did it anyway. Roar! Because that's what dinosaurs do. William spotted some kids at the playground. They were having a lot of fun. William liked fun, so he joined them on the swings and on the slide. While he played, William knew he shouldn't roar at the kids, but then he felt a new roar bubbling up until he just couldn't help himself. Roar! Because that's what dinosaurs do. William spotted people waiting for the bus. He waited. Fact, dinosaurs don't like waiting. And waited. Fact, they like roaring. Roar! Yes, that's what dinosaurs do. William rode the bus all the way home. At his stop, the driver said, "Have a nice weekend, William." William turned and smiled his nicest, toothiest smile. Then he roared in the driver's face. Roar! "Geez, what was that for?" asked the driver. There was only one answer to his question. That's what dinosaurs do. William had another great weekend. Roar! 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 He is having fun. This poor little squirrel. He's roar! The townspeople gathered in front of William's house and demanded an apology. Even his doctor was there. They say, "No more sore throats, no roaring, keep quiet." But William wasn't sorry for roaring, not one bit. You want to know why? Because that's what dinosaurs do. All right, so that's the end of our story. It's a really fun one. Okay, let's move on to our last activity. That is something I really love to do. Let's draw. So I wanted for you to be able to draw a really simple dinosaur out of shapes. And so we're going to do a directed drawing today. And if you really enjoy this directed drawing, you can look at the Art for Kids Hub on YouTube, or you can just search for directed drawings on Google. You can find lots of free resources there. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to draw a dinosaur, and my finished dinosaur is going to look something like this. Okay. And this dinosaur, even though he's so cute and looks like he might be a little complicated, he's super easy to draw with just shapes that you already know. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this activity, you can use any type of paper or any type of drawing paper or utensil, anything you would like. You can use sidewalk chalk outside, you can use mail that has a blank side on the back, you can use a piece of paper from your notebook. Anything will work for this. This is just a lot of fun, but it doesn't have to be perfect or on the whiteboard like I'm doing today. So I will start, and I'm going to draw my first line. I want to have my paper or my board in front of me horizontally. I just want to have it with the fat sides out. And I'm going to draw a line right through the middle of the paper. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then after that, what we want to do is we're going to draw a little smile or half circle that connects one side of this line to the other. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my little smile line. Okay. And after that, we're going to go ahead and add a head. So I want to add an egg shape right up here above my body that I just drew. So just a little egg shape. And then I want to connect my head to my body with a neck. So I'm going to go kind of to the middle of my head and draw a straight line down to this little corner on the body. And then I'm going to draw the other side of the neck by drawing another line down closer to the middle of his back. So now I've got something that looks a little closer to a dinosaur. But without a tail, this guy can't be a cute dinosaur. So let's go ahead and add our tail. So I'm going to go to the back here to this corner, and I'm just going to draw a curved line up and then a curved line back down. So we do it just like this. A curved line up and then one right back down there. And now we have his tail. And we're going to go ahead and add some legs to him, which I use just regular rectangles to draw 4 legs for my little dinosaur guy. All right. So very simple. You can take your time. All right. So now I've got my legs to my dinosaur. Finally, we want to go ahead and add some spikes or plates to the back of our dinosaur. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 of those just with triangles. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. And those can be on his neck or his neck and his back. And you can go wild. You can add plates other places on his body. You can add a longer neck, a short tail, anything you want. You can go wild. So now that I've got my basic dinosaur body, I just need to add a face. So I'm going to go ahead and add a circular eye because it's nice and easy. And then I can add a smile or some teeth, whatever you'd like to do. And now I've got my final dinosaur shape. So that's what it should look like. All right. And you also can go ahead, just like I did on this, and just like I did on this little scrap piece of paper that I used to draw my dinosaur on, you can add a background, you can add some grass, you can add the sun, anything that you would like to add to make your dinosaur look even cuter. So have fun with this. Definitely look for some directed drawings online and keep drawing dinosaurs. Okay, so we are going to do our last 2 fun facts now. We're going to do these true false style, and if you think it is true, I want you to give me a thumbs up. If you think that the fact is false, give me a thumbs down. Okay? So here's our first fun fact of the true false. Dinosaur eggs were all different sizes, but they were all the same shape. Do you think it's true or false? I see some good guesses out there. It's actually false. Dinosaurs that were meat-eating dinosaurs laid long and thin eggs, and plant-eating dinosaurs laid rounder eggs. So that's an interesting fun fact for you. All right, so let's do our last fun fact. This is also true or false. And here it is. The spikes at the end of a Stegosaurus's tail were as long as a 3-year-old kid. That is a wild fact. So, do you think it's true or false? True or false? All right. It is actually a true fact. The Stegosaurus had 2 sets of spike at the end of its tail that could be as long as 3 feet each. This is around the average size of a 3-year-old child in the U.S. The spikes could have been used for protection from the predators, or they could have just been for looks. I'm so glad you joined me today for K-5 Adventures in 3, 2, 1, where we learned 3 dinosaur facts, we did 2 dinosaur crafts, and read all about William the dinosaur. If you want to share your awesome dinosaur art on social media, please tag @WCPL online so that we can see your awesome work. And don't forget that there are a ton of dinosaur ebooks available for kids of all ages on our Wake County ebook collection. Stay safe and healthy, and we hope to see you at the library soon.